Eh. Eh. Ah, gotta test audio. Alright, cool. Alright, gonna share this in some places. Glitch. Alright. Hello, Valor. Cool. Alright. Cool. Sharing this there. Whoops. Yep, switched to live chat already. Here. And then share it here. Fucking here. And that. Where is that? There it is. That. Cool. Hello to the one concurrent viewer. Not many, but I'm assuming it'll build. I'm gonna eat my taco real quick here. As usual, just got done with a workout, so. Yeah, I should mute this and put it live again. There we go. Alright. So, it's been a week. It's been a week. For real. Lots of semi-high stress stuff. Oh, and amusing thing. Those of you who have been watching the Dapperton stuff, you should be aware that as soon as he either left or was removed from Jim Jesus's server, he fucking Shiny Silver and McToast crab raved. Now, I don't endorse anyone here because I think they're all pretty complicit in bigotry, but like, it's funny how even in like Dapperton's little bigotry echo chamber, they still couldn't stand him. They were still happy when he was gone. And the only one who seemed at all pleased that he returned was Jim. And Shane hasn't said jack fucking shit all day. Partially probably because he's looking over the archives I posted of the channel against him in Jim's server. I think that's fucking hilarious. And Shiny Silver posted a crab that's about to cry, that's injured or something. Because she's upset that he's back. And so is Inactive Titan and Prom Oxide and Robert E-Boy Aaliyah. Like, everybody's mad that he's back. And I think that's fucking hilarious. it's fucking hilarious that that even the people he ran to, like, mommy, help me, Jeremiah's mean. Those people don't like him either. Imagine having shit-ass friends like that, or people that you think are your friends but really aren't. Man, I am so glad to have, like, actual friends. Motherfucker. Okay, Valor, Shane Killian, is an ANCAP YouTuber, who has made content basically supporting, the vast majority of pedophiles. He says most of the time it's not a problem. And he says that, and he also, defended somebody who admitted to, like, abusing CSEM, CSEM, child sexual, exploitation material. Basically, like, the modern way of saying child porn. Because some people have this impression that, like, porn has to be consensual. And I don't think that's true. I think there's plenty of porn that's non-consensual. And I think that's evil. But it's there. You know? So, like, he had somebody in his server who has previously admitted to jacking off to CSEM. And when we pointed it out, he basically just called us liars and said the screenshot was fake with precisely 0 evidence. Fucking 0. So, you know? He's a piece of shit. And he has been consistently screaming liar and or fascist in my mentions for days now because I mocked Mr. Dapperton for clout seeking. Because he tagged a bunch of fucking people. I'll probably make, like, a thorough video on this, but, like, he fucking got fact-checked for posting a screenshot of an article headline from a literal fake news website. A literal fake news website where it says, "We make fake news." And he cried about being fact-checked. He said it was censorship to put a warning on it saying it's not true. And he fucking tags a bunch of, like, big right-wing accounts and shit and says, you know, fucking Matt Taibbi, Tucker Carlson, WikiLeaks, help me, I'm being suppressed. It's fucking... And, so I fucking posted a screenshot because Shane quote tweeted that. Shane, who, by the way, Mr. Dapperton helps Jim talk endless shit about, behind his back in a channel devoted to talking shit about him in his server. That Shane quote tweets him and says, "This is like Soviet Union style, Nazi style censorship." Because they said he was wrong. And so he tags a bunch of fucking, like, big right-wing accounts and, like alt media accounts and WikiLeaks. And he says, "Please help me get this trending. Please retweet this." And so I said, "Is this Soviet Union style clout chasing?" And Shane called me a fascist liar. And like, oh man, it's just been choice ever since. It's been so choice, yo. Furry Floofer says, "Is Dapperton even an anarchist at any point?" He'll tell you so. I doubt it. Because recently I brought up the accurate fact that he set up a video to defend a fundraiser set up by the friend of a pedophile for that pedophile. And I had proven that that person was a pedophile already, like 8 months prior. The whole last previous year went by. And then August, I post my thread about it because I connect some dots and I follow some leads and shit, right? So, to be super fucking clear, to be absolutely crystal, it was about, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. All those months. And he couldn't remotely just look at the thread that I had already posted that proved all this. Because anyone who's been in a VC with him knows what the fuck he sounds like, and I know these people were in VCs with him before. Anyone who has talked to him knows what he believes, knows that his voice matched, his persona matched, his name matched, everything matched, and it was him. And he literally said on Gab that he's a pedophile. And he literally used that Gab account to promote a stream where he was defending pedophilia. I was right the whole fucking time, and I included all that evidence in my original thread, and Dapperton was like, that's not enough. I need to see a Notary Republic signed fucking information slip saying he did it, approved by 10 courts and the Supreme Court. And he said that, basically, I didn't provide enough evidence, which he would later recant by saying, I just didn't read it. I didn't read it because you're an asshole. So, then, when I pressed him on it recently, and by recently I mean, August last year, August, November, something like that. I can't quite remember currently. But when I said that, hey, yeah, this community, Jim's server, is full of a bunch of bigots. And maybe libertarian circles need cleaning up if we're going to, succeed. When they asked me for examples, I was like, well, for example, the Riley situation. Now, if Dapperton and Jim were truly apologetic and contrite about that shit, they wouldn't mind it being brought up as an example. They would say, yeah, we fucked up. And this is definitely a reason he's right. You should listen to and accept what he's saying. We can learn from this and improve and be better people. But he wanted to suppress it. So, basically, they dogpiled on me, hurled a bunch of slurs at me, and operated exactly like every other bigoted echo chamber online does until they eventually ejected me from the server. And then, after they had, during the process of sort of dogpiling me, the week after, I think it was, I was testing a green screen and I thought an image looked funny. So I took a screenshot of the fucking thing and I posted it on my Twitter. And Mr. Dapperton's like, this guy wants you to think he's the good guy, at everyone in the server. Yeah, I'm very sure that a fucking green screen glitch proves that I'm Satan incarnate, bitch. Yeah, for real. So it was very clear at that point which side he was on, and that he wanted to use me as a target of public ridicule. But he wants people to think that we were cool, up until he insulted my chili dog when I had a friend over. And it's like, no, we weren't cool because you and a bunch of other people wanted to lie about a situation and try to sweep it under the rug instead of admitting that you fucked up and saying, yeah, we should learn from this, we should do better. You attacked me. We weren't fucking cool, Mr. D. Just to be completely fucking straight with you. And I don't know why you would think we were cool. But just to be like that, after I, really hammered it down in public, where he couldn't ban or control me, that he defended a pedophile and helped fundraise for one, because people were jumping on him because he started to insult people's appearance, and then he started to call me a pedophile with exactly zero evidence. So I brought up, hey, you fundraised for a pedophile. So, um, the whole thing is just a dramatic ego covering thing, right? And then he threatened to sue me for libel, and he couldn't prove a single claim that I posed. He couldn't prove a single thing that I said wrong, so instead of doing that, he just said, I'm going to sue you. I'll see you in court, bitch. You have 0 case, and I've archived libel tweets from you now. Bitch, come at me. You will be lucky if it just gets dismissed with prejudice. Motherfucker. Anyway, no, he's not an anarchist, because an anarchist wouldn't spend this much time lying to try to control people, and then threatening to sue people for pointing it out. Furry Floover says, trying to use the state against someone for disagreeing with you, such an anarchist. Yeah, for real. And I've been right about him so many times. I've been right about my criticisms of him. But he could never handle criticism. Ever. Not once. So, maybe I'll make a full video of that. I don't fucking know. It doesn't matter. But the point is, no, he's not an anarchist. Manifestly. And neither is Jim, because he's defending this statist garbage. Great, who else are you going to trigger? Probably everyone. Like, at some point, the odds are that I will eventually, like, piss off literally everyone. You know? So, we'll see. We'll see who's next, like, in terms of what happens. But, like, probably just everyone. Finish this taco real quick. And of course today, I have somebody from libertarian circles saying pedophilia should be allowed. I'm arguing with them on Twitter right now. So, y'all are free to check my timeline if you want to see that. That was a very Californian way of saying that. That. I think I never really left there. I think I might just be permanently Californian. Fucking pulling chili off my leg because I accidentally dropped some of this chili cheese taco on my leg. Ah. Valor says we both have California spirits. So, anything else y'all want to talk about? This is the discussion stream for those of you who are new to the channel. Yeah, fucking, the Dapperton situation is just gonna be ongoing cringe because he's unwilling to ever accept that he does anything wrong. Literally. Even in his video where he was exposing a pedo server, no you fucking weren't. The majority of that work was not done by you. You just took other people's fucking screenshots, like mine, and even admitted it in the video that you got a lot of information from me. And admitted in the video that you got information from my friends, who got it from me, and from other people associated with the same project, You would have had the same information if you had just shut the fuck up for a moment and talked to us. But you didn't shut the fuck up. You instead, for months, helped these people because you didn't like me. And because you're incapable of shutting the fuck up even when you're wrong. That's you, Mr. D. Motherfucking taco. This has chuck roast. Fucking my Carolina Reaper chili. Has some corn. Has some potatoes. Very, very robust. And I'm gonna make a fucking protein shake and drink that along with my peanut butter sandwich. Valor says his lizard is staring at him. Yeah, the Shane situation, it can't really be helped because these people are nothing but clout feeders. And so Shane will defend these motherfuckers, even while they talk shit about him behind his back. It's fucking insane. Like, Mr. Dapperton literally helped build a harassment channel against him. And I don't even care about that. I just think it's funny that Shane is defending him still. Or that Shane hasn't gone on the attack even though he knows about it now. Like, fuck off. You're such a cuck. You're defending the people who slander you. Or at the very least, talk shit. Right? Why are you doing that? Oh, well, because you don't like me. And because you don't like the fact that I criticized your content where you said most pedophiles are fine. You know? I'm not gonna stop either. I'm right. You're fucked up. This whole circle is fucked up. It's full of fascists, bigots, pedophiles, and the like. And I'm not sorry. Holy shit. Are there any big name people on anarchist Twitter that aren't brainlets and are against me? I can't really think of any overwhelmingly intelligent people who don't like me. A lot of them just make up for the fact that they aren't very smart by ganging up in groups to justify things like their bigotry and shit like that. So, probably not. You know, I can't think of an example right now off the top of my head. But if I do think of an example, I'll let you know, for sure. I will have hooked one. Anyway, y'all got any other subjects? Because this goes on as long as I've got stuff to talk about. I kind of want at least 5 concurrent viewers before jumping into comments, so if it stays 2, this might be a short weekly stream. But that'll just give me more time to make content, so whatever, you know, shit works out. I got a video coming out soon that's going to piss off those bigots quite a bit. And also, there's going to be a lot more content this week because I've got some stuff in the chamber and I've got some stuff that I've been working on that's going to come out. And tomorrow I'm going to make a rant against Operation Iraqi Freedom and the disastrous consequences of the Iraq War. So tune in for that. Like, share, and subscribe. Got fucking oily Carolina Reaper chili oil on my hand. Gotta wipe it off on this fucking peanut butter sandwich here. So, anything y'all want me to talk about? And I've got one person who was interested in a subject, but I kind of want him to be here for that. So. Y'all coming? Anything you want to talk about? Because otherwise, this might be a half an hour stream. I don't want to just sit here and blather at the camera. The point is a discussion stream. Huh. Well, since that appears to be the case, expect a significant amount of... okay. So, what's up, Valor? Give subject. Supposed to be a discussion stream. I can rant at the camera plenty of other times, but this is my only real chance to interface with audience. So, that's what the purpose of these streams is. You got pie and ice cream. Ah, good. Well, I mean, I'm going to call it soon, because there aren't very many people, and there are, like, no more subjects being recommended. So, feel free to throw a subject you want me to talk about before then. Favorite food? I don't really do favorites. Like, and it's not that chili dogs are my favorite. It's that I do them because they're a cheap and effective way to piss off all the people who don't like the fact that I like the Sonic franchise. Hello, Minty. Like, the sort of people I bought that poster to piss off. That's why I eat the chili dogs every week. And because I make really fucking good chili. So, like, you can ask JD in the server. Just tag JD and ask if the chili was good but also deadly. He'll probably give you an answer. What I was told is that it was, quote, damn good, but also he was glad he had side dishes because it was sort of like it cut through the heat a little. I thought of making a milder batch this time, but, like, I wanted him to experience it the way I experience it, so, you know, I feel like I did a good job of that. Furry Floofer says, apparently the FDA authorized Pfizer's COVID Omicron booster as a fourth shot for kids under 5. I'm not real surprised. You know, the FDA is a revolving door between, like, pharmaceutical executives and regulation, right? That basically, like, the people behind the FDA were execs and vice versa, and, like, directly profit off the regulations they push. That's the thing, if you didn't know. Make my protein shake here. Minty says, are Dapperton and Shane still accusing you of harassing them? Possibly. You know, I can actually check that. I haven't checked on them today. I was just talking about the situation, though, so you can watch the beginning of the stream after the stream is over if you want a recap of that whole deal. Let me check. Mr. No. Although from what it looks like, Dapperton put out another absolutely god-awful cringe piece of content. Holy shit. This is what he considers good. He put this on his YouTube channel. What the hell? I don't want to get struck, so I'm not going to play this video live for y'all. But what I will do at some point is make a reaction, like, content to his garbage content like this, because, like, what the fuck does he think he's going to accomplish by this sort of bullshit? He has 1 retweet and 1 like in the past 5 hours. Holy shit. Yeah, he's not real, like, talkative about the situation with me right now. He threw a little tantrum last night and then stopped. You know? And then he's like, "Funny you had ignored me for weeks until I went viral. I went viral, you not only started to complain about me again, and brought up fame specifically, you went on another Jeremiah episode calling everyone who ever crossed you a pedo supporter again. Fragile ego." That never happened. I've never called everyone who's ever crossed me a pedo supporter. Not once, actually. Never. He can never find this. He accuses me of calling him a pedophile. He can never find proof of that. He accuses me of calling literally everyone a pedophile, or a pedophile supporter, when he has no proof of that, and that never happened. And he consistently pulls this bullshit in order to obfuscate from accurate statements like, "Hey, Mr. Dapperton, you helped fundraise for a pedophile." A pedophile that I had already proven the previous year was a pedophile. There was enough evidence, motherfucker. There was enough evidence. You just didn't like me, so you ignored the evidence and pretended it didn't exist. And the only time you brought up the evidence was when friends of mine gave you the same exact evidence. Not new evidence, the same fucking exact evidence. So don't come at me like that, bitch. Show us that the communication was positive. Okay. I do have archive backups of the server, so I guess that'll be possible. Expect that part in the YouTube video, I guess. I hated her when I found out. Nope, you didn't. You just didn't want fucking blowback. That's the reason you were totally fine sharing a server with this person for 6 months after taking down your video. Which, by the way, you say it was only up for a couple hours, but you're sharing comments that were posted the next day. You're a bitch-ass little liar, Mr. Dapperton. Sun's out, guns out. I don't know, they're not very gun-like right now. I just got off a workout, but here. I'm close as you can get to guns right now. Yeah. Let me get my protein shake in, though. Hello, Earth Nerd, by the way. Outside of that, we could talk about the banks that closed down. They live rent-free in your heads. Yeah. Yeah, Dapperton, Shane, Jim, they will never get over the fact, ever get over the fact that, like, I don't need their established cred. I don't need their fucking, like, approval. I just need the truth. And I can get people to dislike them. They thought that you had to, like, rise up in the ranks to get action. And they don't like the fact that somebody like me can just strafe on the outside and still get action. They're fucking jealous. They're jealous of my boldness. They're jealous of my investigative skills. They're jealous. Plain and simple. Valor says it doesn't sit well with me how Jim has Jesus in his name. Yeah, well, he's a Satanist, so. I'd like to see you attend my jiu-jitsu or judo class. Well, I mean, I don't think I'll be heading to Cali any point soon. Like, I'm all about learning to fight, though, so I'll be attending classes at some point. I think I found his channel. Is it the one with 107k subs? 107k subs and only 107 views on a video 5 hours ago. Yeah. Because he's a piece of shit and so many of his old people know that. Like, most of the people who click subscribe or whatever, or follow on his Twitter or Facebook or something, they don't actually care anymore. They clicked that, they walked away, and they just forgot to unsubscribe when they stopped giving a shit about his loser ass. So, he has some residual clout, but, like, that's the reason he had to tag fucking WikiLeaks in his Facebook said I was wrong post. Like, he was trying to get fucking speech clout off of that. Like, holy shit. So the banks. Here's a bite. Basically, they had bad practices in establishing actual value of holdings. And they relied too much on bonds, which were tits up. And they, like, basically said, like, yeah, we're going to fix this. We're going to solve this. Like, don't panic. Stick with us, write it out. And what did everybody do? Peter Thiel and a bunch of other people circulated shit and said, pull your money out, panic. And the Wall Street Journal said, panic. And everybody just did it. Like little fucking lemmings running their finance off the cliff. And SVB had nothing to fall back on because they weren't really run by business people. They were run by a bunch of fucking virtue signaling cucks. Minty says, I remember Dapperton called Trump anti-establishment. That would be an interesting find. Can you find that screenshot? Time for another round of CNBCs and crypto demonization. Yep. Yeah. Especially since Silicon Valley Bank wasn't the only one that crashed. It was also Silvergate Crypto. So, everybody's going to be like, oh yes, crypto is so bad. Even though a mainstream dollar financial place also collapsed at the same time, crypto is somehow exotically bad, even though it did the same thing in the same way. It's somehow exotically bad. Fucking awful. And because of the people, by the way, Dapperton tagged, the few people who did retweet his nonsense spread it to an audience that said, Facebook is fact-checking the truth. Even though it's from a fake news fucking website. But yeah, and it's not just like, so crypto demonization it's not going to be that. It's just going to be mainstream crypto. Because they just had the successful round of their CBDC. And so now they've got all the excuse in the world to say, hey, we need to instate the CBDC now because the fucking markets are unstable. And we need quick ways to get money back into the hands of the American people. And the American people need finance that they can rely on, and a responsive government that's fast like the 21st century. And blah 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 blah. Here's your manacles, accept your chains. That's what it's gonna be. Isn't it so convenient how we can get our stimulus immediately with the government cryptocurrency? It'll just be routed to our wallet. And they can turn it off whenever they want. And they can watch what we buy. And they can monitor and control our purchases and our purchasing capability. And man, that's a lot to trade for a bit of convenience. But man, I sure do love me some government. Nutrient sludge. Valdo says, I guess the topic I can bring up is my mom hates my neighbor, who was our friend. Apparently they abused their dog. I mean, that's a sure sign of sociopathy and other dark triad traits. So, I can understand that. How you treat those weaker than you is a sure sign of some, like, either moral bulwark or moral failing. And oftentimes it's psychologically linked. But yeah, so Floover, did I answer your questions about the banks, or? The person who signed the bill that banned all memes and online streaming and is a protectionist jackass who banned Trump stocks is so anti-establishment. I am not familiar with that. I'm gonna just right-click and search your entire comment. Oh, you're just talking about Trump. Okay, alright. Yeah. And bump stock bans and, let me drone as many people as I want without telling you how many people I've droned. And give me whatever power I want. I'm not going to draw down basically any power. I'll, ban flavored vape juices. And Trump was so charismatic to an abjectly uncharismatic base that he got those people to believe that everything pro-establishment is anti-establishment. Like Jocelyn Glaybach over the redheaded libertarian shit, right? Like the one who falsely accused me of doxing her for using the name she told everybody she went by. That one. She spread around this fucking lie that he ended the Fed because he consolidated the fucking mint and treasury. I wish I had the fucking creativity to come up with stuff like this. I mean, I probably do, but like, it's like the jokes write themselves, because she said, did Trump just end the Fed? And no, he didn't, and it's still here. But she hasn't fucking recanted that, or like most of her pro-Trump stuff. Because she's a fucking bootlicker. And she represents a significant amount of the right-wing libertarian circuit. How many fake libertarians exposed themselves because of Trump? Her, fucking Tim Pool, fucking Luke Radowski, fucking so many people. So many people. Just like lapped up that Trump boot. Plain and simple. It's basically a peanut butter vanilla shake at that point. That is until I almost spill it on my fucking keyboard. I didn't, though. I caught it. Favorite coffee? I don't really drink coffee. When I did, though, I really liked Don Francisco's hazelnut, and this is not sponsored by Don Francisco. Anyway, yeah, fucking, basically anyone who still positively affiliates with Jocelyn is at least a little bit sold out to the Trumpian bullshit. So, like, anyone affiliated with that sort of right-wing circle jerk crowd, that's why. Like, that's why it was so fucking funny to me when everybody acted like, oh, Tim Pool's so brave for confronting Kanye West. I agree with Tim Pool. He didn't confront shit. He fucking floundered and stammered until Kanye eventually walked off the fucking set. And then his, fucking loyal lapdog followers fucking scooted off with him. And Nick Fuentes and Milo Yiannopoulos were like, there as well. You knew what you were getting, Timmy boy. You knew what you were getting. You got exactly what you wanted. And to act like, you didn't want that, you were just hoping that they wouldn't bring up the Jew stuff so that you didn't have to acknowledge that you invited on some people like that. You would have been happy if they had just ran the entire conversation accepting the more surface level milquetoast blasé kind of thing you were going with, right? And I'm not saying that Nazism is super deep, by the way. I'm just saying, like, you would have rather they stayed real close to the surface on that and not delved down into their personal Nazi icebergs. But you invited on fucking Nazis. You invited on Nick goddamn Fuentes and Milo goddamn Yiannopoulos and Kanye motherfucking West. And you expected it to go different? I don't believe that for a fucking second. You knew exactly how it would go. And you gambled with the potential that they would just, play ball. And you lost your gamble. And then you fucking wibble-wobbled in place for a bit while, And you seemed flabbergasted that they would even remotely, potentially be the way they are. But that's the way they are, motherfucker. That's the way they are, motherfucker. And you knew that goddamn shit when you walked in on them. It's endlessly frustrating how these people can fucking put this self-effacing garbage mask on. Whether it's an actual mask in the form of goddamn Dapperton, or whether it's a metaphorical mask in the form of Tim Pool, acting like he's just some sort of impartial fucking impartial, observer of reality. I'm so fucking liberal, right? Fuck off. Just don't platform Nick Fuentes. You know what you were getting. You know what you wanted. Fuck. Furry Floofer says, there's at least one good thing Trump's presidency did, exposed fake anarchists. I mean, arguable. See, the thing is, I already knew these people were basically fake. And I was saying it for years. I would say it less exposed them, and I would say it more just exposed more people to the way they already were. Because I've been warning people about this shit for a real fucking long time, so I don't know. I don't think it's as simple as exposure. Valor says, one thing I just remembered is that at Thanksgiving I was outside and there were some dogs barking. And my druggy cousin came out and said, shut up, all of you. I'm sure they heard him and didn't just think he was barking too. Minty says, I consider Bush much worse than Trump. I don't. I think they're about the same level. I think they're all the same level. I think the one real deviation president was Harding, because he was anti-war to the fucking max. If you go back and read some Harding quotes, you'll start to hear somebody who sounds like me. Actually, let me read some Harding quotes for y'all live on air after I get this last piece of fucking protein sludge in my fuckhole. These were never supposed to be mukbang streams, but they sort of just worked out that way because I need to work out. So, I just put away about 3,000 calories in total. The stuff I had before the stream started and the stuff that I had during. So, I'm feeling pretty good. Alright. Best president is William Henry Harrison. He died 1 month into office before he did anything. See, I get that meme, but Harding was pretty fucking tight. Let me tell you why. So, Harding wiki quote. All right. So let's start with anti-racism. Let the black man vote when he is fit to vote. Prohibit the white man voting when he is unfit to vote. Basically like saying everybody who is on a sufficient level should be able to vote. Fuck racism. That pissed off so many white people. And it's great because it says everything. It's like, are you opposed to this person voting because of the color of their skin? Or are you opposed because they're in some way unfit? And you can't just say, oh, I don't like him. Not an argument. Fucking perfect summation of like why racism when he was president, like the roaring 20s guy, perfect like sort of encapsulation of why racism then was garbage and why it will always be garbage, because it's not about actual fitness, it's about otherization. Very strange how Harding suddenly died in office, Minty says. Yeah, suspicious. If I could choose but one, I had rather have industrial and social peace at home than command the international peace of all the world. That's Ron motherfucking Paul talk. Way before he was here. Before he was even motherfucking born, he was saying we shouldn't be policing the world and ascribing to foreign adventurism. It's great. We want a free America again. We want America free at home and free in the world. We want to silence the outcry of nation against nation in the fullness of understanding. And we wish to silence the cry of class against class and stifle the party appeal to class so we may ensure tranquility in our own freedom. Basically, he was saying we need to do better so that the class that is lowest is not treated poorly enough that they want to revolt. And we need to give freedom, like, so that we can build a better structure for all of us so that nobody needs to revolt. Pretty fucking good stuff, if you ask me. Now, I would have phrased it differently because I'm totally okay with class war, but He was saying it to Republicans, you know? He was trying to fucking appeal to that shit. You know? It's just... It's fucking insane that, like, people just don't know about him. They just assume he's terrible. You know? But they assume that because they've heard from a bunch of statists who don't mind imperialism and adventurism and shit. They just heard it and repeated it. And I did that too for the longest fucking time. And then I actually read what Harding said and I was like, haha, he sounds like me. Furry says, Harding didn't kill himself. Yep. Minty says, Harrison ain't got nothing on the Mexican president who died about 50 minutes into his term. Yeah. Yeah, Harding was much better than people gave him any sort of credit for. And it's a shame. Because if people had followed Harding's anti-war stances, the world would be in a better place. Like, literally, he was holding peace talks. He was saying, hey, we should come together as, you know, an international community and start talking this stuff out so that we can prevent world wars. Now, don't listen to that guy, man. Fuck him. He's weak. He can't handle our fucking stars and stripes. It's exhausting. It's fucking exhausting, the Harding hate. Because when you realize that if people had started to, like, actually hold real peace talks, and if America had had more money because they spent less of it on fucking war, that maybe this economy wouldn't be a wartime economy that was so constantly bent on certain industrial complexes, and we could have flourished as a society very quickly. No, we can't have that. We've got to empower the military-industrial complex and go to 2 world wars. If Jesus were alive today, what do you think he would think? I mean, Jesus is theoretically alive today. So I don't... I'm you know, atheist, but I'll speak as though he is, and I'll say that if he's alive, he's pissed. Because so many people are just abusing his message. So many people are watering it down for profit or just adding stuff to the Bible so that they can make more money. You know? And the people who aren't Christian aren't really fucking convinced to be Christian by a guy who's got a private jet. You know? Like, there's so many examples of people who fail to be Christian but profess Christianity. And I think he would probably think that this is the time of false prophets, the mark of the beast with CBDC. You know. This is the end times. And to me, Revelation was sort of like Revelations was sort of like a warning. It's saying, if you don't heed this call, you're fucked. And what are we, as a collective humanity, not, like, obviously atomized individuals like myself and those who watch my content and are based enough to like, share, and subscribe to my Patreon or my Twitter or something. The most, like, popular opinions are just attrition. Attrition to the system. Don't care. And, like, go with it. Yeah, Mr. Knight says a local pastor to him would fly his helicopter to Cracker Barrel, but his church was suffering. Yeah. Floofer says, I personally never considered becoming Christian because I never want to be ruled over and follow the orders of any higher power as an anarchist, and that includes God. If you ever do decide to get into any sort of Christianity, I recommend reading Tolstoy, The Kingdom of God is Within You. That would be my recommendation. I think you would very much appreciate that work. Either way, it is now an hour. So y'all have stuff you want to discuss? We do have some new people who weren't in here earlier. Minty says Kenneth Copeland looks like a demon in disguise. It's arguable that he just looks like a demon anyway. Like, his flesh be saggy. His eyes be sockety. Like, look at how far they sink back in there. It's like they're running away from the world that he creates. So, is there another thing y'all want to talk about? Because this is a general discussion stream. Although I do have 5 concurrent viewers, so I guess I'll go over the comments. I was sort of waiting for that. Alright. So, The Light. Vlogstream 40. Valor said best, so thumb and a heart. They want to control the future with AI. Mr. Knight said, 1984 was a great warning, but it seems more that the world just really likes taking warnings as guides. Yep. Thumb and a heart. They want to control the future with AI. I felt exactly the same way about East of Eden. Book was a masterpiece. Movie was abysmal crap. Yep. I don't know what that is, but I'm gonna check it out. I assume so. Rescind on the same video says, I was watching a true crime show on a popular cable channel. Probably ID Network. The story outlined a crime about a murder in a Palestinian family. Quote, luckily, the FBI had already had the family's home bugged under a FISA warrant. Oh, man. Oh, I hate people so fucking much. Alright. I'm gonna power through this comment. The local police, NYPD, were able to get access to the 24-hour monitoring recordings, and the case was solved. Huzzah! OMG, how horrifying is that? Any of us could be determined to be domestic terrorists, the worst kind, and I definitely could be accused of funding one. Yeah, you could. All because things are said that the government doesn't like. Yeah, by the way, if any of the adults here decide that they want to throw something at it, I'm just gonna post my Patreon here because I might as well. If y'all also want to fund the guy the government hates, and so does a bunch of alleged anarchists, you can do it through this outlet extremely easily. Even $5 a month is supportive. But I'm sure that's why they haven't banned all of Jeremiah's social media. They want to see what we're talking about. Once we're truly deemed threats, they'll be bugging our houses if they haven't already. My landline was tapped for months around 11 due to a close friend and her husband being investigated for a variety of bad behavior. We are living in the Running Man, no doubt. Exactly. It's fucking terrible. I just want people to recognize that the writing is on the wall, you know? It's exhausting. It's fucking exhausting. That, people like me can be so reliably right, and people still call us crazy conspiracy theorists and then believe the state the next time they say something. Do you... But, y'all in the chat, hey, if you don't know the answer to this, I want you to guess. I want the chat to guess. What is the government's new excuse for COVID-19? Let me know what you think it is. Okay, if you don't know, I want you to guess. It's a new excuse that the New York Times just put out a thing on. I will put 30 seconds on my personal clock here. I want to see if y'all know. Because it's fucking hilarious that people are still believing this at fucking all. It's not climate change. It is something stupid. Y'all got like 15 seconds left. Okay. All right. So, get ready for it. Get it for raccoon dogs. Raccoon dogs are the new cause of COVID-19. They found raccoon dog shit in the Wuhan market. And they're saying that a raccoon dog was there, so we can say that they were an intermediary carrier. They're still trying to say it didn't come from a lab, even though a whole lot of intelligence agencies are saying it came from a lab, even though a whole lot of doctors are saying it came from a lab, even though a whole lot of people like me were saying it came from a lab as early as 2020, like early 2020, I was saying this kind of thing. Now they're saying, hey, yeah, you know how we just came out with a bunch of noise that said that, yeah, even the Department of Energy is saying that it probably came from a lab? Raccoon dog! Raccoon dog! We did it! We found out the real culprit. It's a motherfucking raccoon dog! Oh, it's aggressively bad. Okay, what is a raccoon dog? I will pull up a picture of a raccoon dog for you after I thumb in a heart Rescind's comment here. Yeah, Rescind is currently my second biggest financial supporter behind Eek, who also shows up occasionally. Coon dog. Okay. Here's I'm gonna hope that this doesn't backfire on me, because I'm really not good at the switching slides thing on OBS yet, but here's a raccoon dog. They're saying this is what caused COVID-19. Not a lab leak, not even bats anymore. A raccoon dog. Oh shit. Oh fuck. We live in a dystopia where they constantly change the truth in order to distract you from the thing you know is true. It's a fucking raccoon dog now. It'll be another fucking animal later. They can just blame wet markets again and re-engage the Asian hate. Jesus fuck. Okay. And you saw in some of those fucking thumbnails, it was like articles about how this is the new shit. So it's a subspecies, Earth Nerd, because like they make the raccoon is not the same, quite the same species as the raccoon dog. Floofer says, if anyone believes that excuse in the state's clear attempt to save face, then I'm going to lose faith in humanity. Hey, more power to you if you still had some. Yeah, raccoon dogs. They want us to believe it's fucking raccoon dogs. And some people goddamn do. I hate it so much. I hate it so much. Y'all gonna make me lose my mind. Up in here, up in here. Motherfucking fed ass bullshit. Okay. I've got multiple comments from Valor on The Light, the last vlog stream, so I'll thumb in a heart all of those. and on microphone, and on iridescent. And one on Discord is stealing your data to program AI. Free mind. Ideally. Do I plan on making a gilded server? No, I don't, because they don't have all the features and functionality that Discord has. Yet. Like, there are so many things that I could list that they don't offer yet. And it would just be like such a dramatic drop in functionality that it wouldn't be worth it. Thumb and a heart, though, because that's a good question. Multiple comments on Warhawk thing, including free the minds of the weak-willed. So thumb and a heart on all of those. Mr. Knight says, yeah, when Navalny is poisoned and locked up just for opposing Putin, it's hard not to consider Russia to be fascist. More convincing proof that Russia is fascist is that protests have to be approved by the Russian government. Yeah, and that anti-war protests right now are being quelled. It's like, there are people flying Z flags in the USA that would be approved in Russia, and there are other people running actual anti-war stuff in America that would be crushed by Russia. You can guess who has the bigger level of domestic support. I only like Russia for its culture, things like Metro 2023 and the Nutcracker, but those things were before Euromaidan. Although Medvedev was pretty bad too, something using tear gas on protesters despite children being present. Tear gas is already banned by the Geneva Convention too. It's like literally banned. You're not allowed to use gases like that. It's literally gassing people. It's banned by the Geneva Convention for like use in war, but you can use it on your people if you want. The only good thing I know he did was sign the New START Treaty, which Putin revoked like a month ago. Yeah, fuck Putin. Never gonna support him. And Rescind says, this is exactly why I support you. So thumb and a heart on that. Valor says, I hope you all enjoy my funny little cryptic comments. Yeah. Sometimes I want to move to Romania. Well, don't do that because it's a highly corrupt country, and you would have a worse time than you do in America. But you can get a Let me actually just integrate this because I might as well integrate this. If you want to appear like you're in Romania, then there's never a better way to do that than to get the Romanian-based VPN, which means it's outside of the 5, 9, and 14 eyes surveillance countries. You can get this one that's based out of Romania itself, which is CyberGhost VPN. 2 years for $60. It's what I use. I use it a lot. This isn't sponsored by them, but if you use that link and buy it, I get money. And I like money. So feel free to do that. That raises the question, where is the most anarchist country with the best living conditions to move to if you ideally want to move anywhere and birth a baby somewhere? Nowhere. The US polices the world. NATO is everywhere. NATO is a cancerous virus. My advice to you would be really ratchet up your ability to live free here or wherever you are, because there is no free country. There is no like government that supports your freedom. It's not going to happen. It doesn't work. Earth Nerd says an island somewhere that you bought. I mean, that's good as long as you don't piss anyone off. And as long as the US government doesn't seize your territory anyway, like it did Hawaii. You know? Like, if you make something prosperous in a place, the US government's going to find a way to steal at least part of it. So, just saying. But yeah, Rescind, thank you for the consistent support. And everyone else who does as well. Floofer says, statists, well, obviously the most anarchist country in the world is Somalia. Yeah, sure. Earth Nerd says, I'm just saying that's the freest it gets. Yeah, probably. Like, at least temporarily. And Valdez says, especially if your island has oil, like even the tiniest amount of oil, make sure there's no oil there. Yeah, like, you start up an oil pump just to burn it off. Haha, invade this, motherfucker. Light up that shit like pyro on TF2. TF2 pyro. Anyway, is there anything else y'all want to Darskars? Let me check on the Twitter situation. It was like sort of bubbling up before I booked. Yeah, okay. Then you hear USA, USA chanting coming closer to you, and it doesn't stop. Yeah, it's like a horror movie. Like, you start to hear that in the distance, and you're like, you know exactly what's coming. Like, depleted uranium, Hellfire missiles, Sidewinders, fucking AC-130, fucking Predator, Reaper drones, like fucking F-15, 16, just a raining cavalcade of every kind of terrible things. LeBaramore says 20th anniversary of Iraqi freedom tomorrow. Yep, I was telling them I'm going to make a video on that. Also, hello. Also, I was about to wrap it up, but if you've got things you want me to discuss, I can do that. This goes on pretty much as long as y'all want it to. Aren't these guys so free now that we got rid of all them big scabby weapons of mass destruction? Yeah, Colin Powell. It always... Okay, here's what always struck me, even when I was a fashy teenager. Even when I was a fashy... I used to... Okay, I can be quoted as saying in high school, Bush did nothing wrong. I was that fashy. Okay? I used to call it stupidity, but I kind of knew a lot of what Bush was doing, and I just co-signed it because I was a fashy piece of shit. And even in my most fashy days, it didn't make any sense to me how Colin Powell could say that, hey, they've got this terrible ingredient for a component of weapon of mass destruction, blah, blah, blah. Let me dangle the file in front of fucking Congress. I'm Colin Powell. Here's a vial of deadly bullshit. They're the bad guys. And watch it was just like Smarties he ground up with a mortar and pestle. Just like, hey, and like after the thing, or like it's like yellow cake cocaine in they just fucking did bumps in the back off it while they were celebrating their Warhawk victory. They were just like, yeah, this is some good shit. We're gonna empower a military industrial complex for decades to come. Thanks, Colin. Oh man, Bush is gonna love this shit. Save him a bump. Lockheed Martin Raytheon. Boeing BAE. I gotta cool it with the sniffling. People are gonna think it's lava. Just a sec. Anyway. Now that I've had my weird little fucking schizo moment. LeBarimer says, I was born after the war started, so I don't remember much about how it kicked off. It kicked off dumbly and evilly. That's how it kicked off. And like, here's something to really piss off. If you've got boomers you want to piss off, here's how you do it. Tell them that the U.S. government gave the Taliban $53 million right before 9/11. They'll just fucking die. Like, they'll just fucking melt down. They'll be like, oh, no, they didn't. I'm gonna look this up. Damn, it's true. But fuck you anyway, traitor. They deserve that money because Uncle Sam said so. I just remember how Saddam was evil, so we all needed to go and stop him from killing babies in incubators. Yep. Because that testimony. And then the whole Middle East decided to boogaloo. Valor says, Jeremiah, today at the coffee shop, I saw someone who looks a lot like you. Ah. Well, hey. If that becomes the case in the future, you can always tell them to tune in for anarchist content directly out of Eastern Washington. I just put my finger in the camera a lot today. You guys can see the tip of my finger. My eye itched all of a sudden. It was like, you're doing too much with your finger. We're gonna make you move it. Yeah, I'll be doing a rant on that tomorrow as well. And also on Monday, the rant is going to be against AI art. So tune in. I'm everywhere, Liberamur. I'm in Florida, Eastern Washington. I'm everywhere all at once. There is nowhere I'm not.
I am omniscient, omnipresent, omni-uwu.
Yeah, see, I don't call these guns yet because it's still too thin when it's, like, not flexed. Like, I need to get to the point where this is, like, actually substantial on its own. Then I'll feel, like, good about my body type. Valor says, I don't really want to go to Florida. I saw things saying it isn't safe and has a high crime rate. It is. But my parents say it's really safe. They're wrong. The hedgehog god. Well, we will see. Earth Nerd says it's not true and that they are guns. Well, I'll be getting bigger guns because I need fucking muscles that I need to be able to successfully mount and dismount anything. Then I think I'll be at least satisfied. But I'll probably still want it like a little bit bigger, but either way though, anything else y'all want to talk about? I'm gonna call it in 7 minutes. Alexandra, sorry, I just misgendered you. Alexander Helig said it would raise the political clout of China if they broker peace talks or even just a ceasefire between Ukraine and Russia. That would make NATO look outdated and a bully if they arm Ukraine during it. Yeah. And also they've been getting hawkish on China for a while now, and the reason they've been doing that has been because like they want more market dominance and they are afraid of China's cooperation with African nations and shit like that. And by cooperation, I mean basically debt enslavement. But they're taking advantage of underdeveloped nations who don't fully understand that concept yet. So a little bit of exploitation here and there. It's just, another day in China. But America, they've got to we're going to ban TikTok. We're going to ban Chinese stuff. We're going to ban Huawei. We're going to ban all this stuff. Not because it's unethical, because it's always been unethical, and they still allowed it. But because they want to threaten China into cooperation, at least, and potentially compliance. So, they can't have, China brokering peace talks in order to draw down this conflict. That would make them look like, they were instigating. Because then they'd be like, no, we still need this war, China. And China would be like, no, give peace a chance. And they'd be like, we're the good guys, war. And China would be like, well, but we could just not war. And they'll be like, war. Fucking NATO can't have that. NATO can't appear weak. NATO can't ever concede. NATO just has to keep on fucking reflexively defending its goddamn garbage. You know, so if China starts brokering peace talks, if there's another American president like Harding who starts brokering peace talks, gotta axe that shit real quick. Just like, yo, I saw you trying to make things better for people. Man, fuck you. That's getting in the way of my wallet. I'm gonna need to see them chain, that purse, that wallet. Run it. Fucking people. Floofer says, cool, can't wait to see you expose your anti-tech views again. Not many anarchists are actually against the state using tech for their own ends. Yeah. But Valor says, I plan to live in South Florida when I'm about 20 with my friends. Alexander Helig is a name that's really close to Russian Orthodox Christian friend. Ah. Earth Nerd says, I used to live in South Carolina. Ah. Liberimer, lot of the little dinky towns in middle America don't even have police departments and non-existent crime rates. Yeah, for sure. That and the housing prices are usually half of what it costs in the city. Earth Nerd says it's beautiful there. It's just across the river from where I'm from in Georgia. Floofer says corporations are not around to commit crime, so of course there's non-existent crime rates without them around. I like it. I like that explanation. Valor says, I'm going to be living there in a house with a lot of my friends when I'm old enough. Liberimer says, if you want to be free, just gotta pull a Ted K, live in the middle of nowhere on your own land. And find somewhere remote enough that the cops won't find you, lol. Valor said, Jeremiah Street Talk. Yo, I come from a place, man. I could start talking like this at any point. I just don't do it because I don't sound like that. So, but I do know how it sounds. So, do a tweaker voice. Huh. Man, I don't know if that's really gonna work for me, man. I just feel like, do you have $5? It's for the bus. It's for the bus. I promise. Alexander says, China brokered peace talks between Iran and Saudi Arabia. Now they are investing into each other's countries. Israel wants them to remain enemies of one another. Russia is building more bases in Syria. Yeah. Yeah, that's the reason the U.S. went to Syria last time. You motherfuckers didn't give a goddamn shit about fucking Assad gassing people. Stop lying. The gassing was never real to begin with, and if it was, your reporters wouldn't have been just on the ground touching shit and breathing the fucking air. And the OBCW whistleblowers were right, and you fucking suck. And the reason people were in Syria was it was another way to use Russia as an excuse for foreign interventionism and resource allocation. That was it. That was all. That was all it was, motherfuckers. You didn't have a red line, bitch. I hate the pro Syria war intervention people so much. It's a special burning ember in my heart to fuck you. Holy shit. And it's happening again. All they need to do is say, ew, Russia, they're doing bad things in Syria. Let's go to Syria again and bomb that place. It got bombed too much by Assad. We must bomb it ourselves, goddammit. This is America. We can't be out-bombed. Hello, Jack. Driving right now. Won't be able to talk much. I'm here and listening. Got lots going on in my life. Sorry I didn't send links this week. It's totally fine, man. Hope things improve for you. And also welcome to the tail end of the chat, because I'm closing it soon. But we've had lots to talk about, so if you just want to start from the beginning, you can do that. There's been plenty of discussion. Normally it heats up around this time too. Normally it heats up around the hour mark, because then there's a lot of stuff that I can build off that I've talked about earlier on in the call, or just stuff that people wanted to bring up but forgot about. So, the more of y'all are on at the beginning of this, the sooner it'll get to that. And the more y'all invite your friends, like Jack Alexander. If y'all know people, feel free to send them the link. So Liberimer, the U.S. made ISIS with Operation Cyclone and Iraqi Freedom. Let's find a bunch of violent extremists and then topple the government. I wonder what could possibly happen after this. Yeah, well, and I went over that in my 2 articles on Nexus about how the U.S. isn't really going to leave Afghanistan, and they really didn't. They really didn't. They claimed they left, but they still have a bunch of private operators on the ground, and the Taliban is literally a U.S. puppet organization from Operation Cyclone, which I proved in AgoristNexus.com/Taliban. It's that easy to get to. So, they made the Taliban, they made Al Qaeda, they made ISIS, ISIL, Al Nusra, they made all of them, and then they said, hey, we got to go to every country you're in now and fuck them up forever. These motherfuckers are evil. If only the AgoristNexus. Yeah, I'm in talks with them about improving that. And, I'm hoping that improves. But the worst thing that happens is I keep on pushing back and get canned or whatever. I'm not going to stop talking, though. That's not my style. You know me. I'm constantly, even if it fucking stabs me in the face, I'm going to tell the truth. So, we'll see. Either way, anything else y'all want to talk about? Because if not... Jack says, my page has no reach, 18k followers, 150 people see posts. Last link to you was seen by 60 people. I mean, it's something. Mostly just share my content, because people aren't going to be interested in these discussion streams if they don't like me. So, if my content is shared, that's what would really boost this sort of thing. That and, of course, Patreon subscriptions. I'll relink that in case anyone decides they want to do that. Casey Anthony Babysitting says trash bags and duct tape. I'm not sure where you're coming from, but that's a decent way to hide things. Either way, I'm going to repaste my link here. If y'all decide you want to throw $5 a month, you are free to do so. But yeah, the content, the more people share my more mainline content, either here or on Hate with Harding, which is going to be getting more stuff soon, the more people actually do that, that's what's going to get me views. That's what's going to get me interest. So, and my stuff is CC0. So, I don't care if it's just reposted as long as, I'm credited. So, there's a lot of ways to support if you want my message to get out there. Either way, is there anything else y'all want to talk about? Discussion topics. Because if not, I'm going to go make some curry. And then just make sure to like, share, subscribe, etc. And when you see content you like, do the same thing, like and share, because that's what's mostly going to get me what I need. I need an audience. If people actually started reliably doing that when I put out content, I might get monetized on YouTube. The only platform right now that monetizes me at all is Facebook. And Twitter has me monetized, but only with their subscription program. So that's only it's a flat fee of $5 a month to get a shiny badge next to your profile. you know. Earth Nerd says, if I look at stuff... Huh. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Either way. Probably where I'm calling it. So expect content tomorrow. Expect content reliably like all week. And expect more hate with Harding and like the actual opening of the Abyss channel. So anyway, be well all. Smash the fucking state.